going on, everyone, and welcome to Hazys. You know at any point in this you like what you're watching to give it the thumbs up and click that subscribe button. Click it so you can come back and see some more. Today we have a special guest. We have Lily Ma. We have the Lily Ma. She's from the Evan Carmichael channel. She has her own channel. She's wonderful. We're going to have her here live. I'm running Hangouts. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's going to be amazing. We're going to try to bring her up. I'm not exactly sure how. I just sent the invite. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm thinking we're getting it. I'm trying to find her here. Maybe she's not ready yet. Maybe she's not ready yet. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But we're gonna find out what's going on. I'm sending her a message right now to see if we can get her. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm going to get this figured out here really shortly here. Sorry, still going through the setup process here. Yeah, this isn't how this is supposed to work. Get some back feed if we do that. All right. All right, so we're here. I'm still trying to figure out how to pull up Lily. All right. For some reason, she can't join. I'm trying. We're gonna try to resend the link here. Apologize, everybody. This is my first attempt using the Hangouts here. L-I-L-Y. Let's try that.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
All right, let me figure out the sound now. This is great. This is all new to me. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm working on the sound.
I can hear you. You need to stop yelling. It's fine. No.
Excellent. How about?
I'm interested in your setup. What's going on behind you? You are actually live right now.
I have I got this. Well, I'm working on this. Is my green screen area.
All right. Okay. So you're live right now on your channel, right?
Yes. Yeah, we're live right now on Hazys.
Oh my God, this is interesting. There's no like green room conversations, nothing. It's just going to be like
well, what I was trying to do, I've never used this Hangouts before. Let me turn this other thing down too. I don't know what that's going on here.
Okay.
So what I've never used the Hangouts before, so I was trying to pull up a way to view like I don't have any idea how to like view the chat box or anything like that with this, because the sound pulls up on the YouTube page, and so then it's backfeeding back and forth, and everything sounds insane. So I'm avoiding it. I'm just going to avoid that. What I'll do is I'll at some point I'll click back over to read comments. I don't know if I can do it from the Hangouts page.
You know what? It's okay. I will keep focused on the chat box, so you don't have to worry. Let's see. I'm gonna go on your channel. But anyway, I think we have some people watching. So hello, everyone. Welcome. This is our first live event ever.
It is. It's a very
together.
First.
So I'm going to give you guys a context and what's going on. And you're probably wondering, who's this woman and why is she on Hazys Days YouTube channel? Well, I met, you prefer to go by Hazys, right? Hazys?
Yeah, Hazys, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the plural. I like to be more than one person, 2+.
That's very interesting. I would like to find out more about that. So I met Hazys in Toronto last week because we did an event with Evan Carmichael. So we did a meet and greet, and I met him, and I realized, I'm like, you know what, this guy is very interesting. He has his own YouTube channel, and I would love to do something with him. It's different from what I usually do. I usually talk about entrepreneurship and business as well as personal development. But you know what? I'm all about stretching my comfort zone. So that's what I'm doing today. So
I think it's wonderful.
I have no idea what's going to happen right now. I don't. And it's actually really exciting. And this is the first time I have showed up on a call and it's completely live. Good thing I did not use a lot of swear words when I came in.
You know what? I probably did right out of the gate. So the cool part about it is I wanted to try this, and there's no mistaking testing anything. I like to go all in. We do it right from the start, and we just go. You go and you make the best of it, right? It always works out.
I like it. All right, so Hazys, why don't you fill me in why you like to be two people at the same time?
Well, I go with Hazys because I got so many different things going on at once. It's not true, but it's almost like a multiple personality type situation. I'm doing crazy things at one moment, and I'm trying to, do entrepreneurial related things all at the exact same time. I'm trying to grow businesses. I'm always looking for that next thing. I spend a lot of time searching for the next thing, but at the same time, I do a lot of crazy things at the same time too. So I like to split myself apart, so I can't be blamed for one or the other. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting perspective that you have there. I think when I saw you on last Wednesday, because I wasn't very familiar with your channel when I met you. I have seen you show up in the comment section on our YouTube channel, and it's like, I'm just gonna check it out. And I saw it. I'm like, it's actually not as crazy as you made it seem.
How far down is it safe to ask, how far down did you dig?
It's like hookers and drugs.
Oh, you dug all right. You dug down.
I dug. And it's fine. Hey, it's okay. And it's actually not as crazy as I thought at all. I think you think that your channel is all over the place, but I do see there's a common theme. There is a common theme that is binding it all. I don't really know what the common theme is, but it doesn't seem like it's all over the place. If you want an outsider opinion about
I
it.
appreciate that opinion. I do, because that's, you know what, for the longest time, for the last, however long that I've been doing this, it's really hard to find anybody to give you an absolute honest opinion of what's going on. I'm the type of person that if I had something up that was offending someone, I would love to go back and remove it. It's not worth it to me. I don't want to offend anybody. My whole thing was to come out, and I wanted to entertain. I like to be funny. The smart mouthy guy. I'd done that. It's not always my thing, but back when I created this stuff, now the hookers and all that stuff, I do not go around picking up hookers. Let's just put that one right out there. I know everybody out there who's listening and watching wants to know the answer to that question. I did it because I felt like it was a topic that was going to really get some attention, get some views, and help grow my channel. Now, what I realized is a lot of people don't subscribe and follow things like that, but it worked out. And so there's a lot of other things that I had done along the way there that are as questionable. So I've always been curious about like what I should possibly remove, or is it something that's okay to leave it up so as you grow, people can see where you came from? Or is it a bad idea, for somebody to be able to look back and go, whoa, what the heck were you thinking,
In my honest opinion, it all depends on where your head is at. I think, I have my first ever Unlocking Lily series. My intro video, I am bawling my eyes out because I was so scared shitless of what's going to happen next. I come from a corporate world. I had a job for 12 years in the corporate world, getting paid really well. And for me to take a leap of faith was really scary for me. That was a moment in time in my life. It's not who I am. I am not the person that goes around crying all the time. And it made me very uncomfortable that when people dig for me, that's what they see. And they feel like oh, this poor woman, she's crying, it's so sad, and I want to come and hug her and she's going to be okay. I was like, I'm fine. I'm okay. It was a moment in time. I was having a real moment, and it got captured on film. But it's also not 100% untrue either. I did experience that. So I left it on, and it's really your own personal opinion of how you feel about it. If you feel like it's a complete clash of values of who you are today, then yeah, go ahead and remove it. But if it's like an embarrassing thing that was like, I can't believe I did that, but it's more like, look at the journey, look at how far I have come, that's fine. Either way is fine. I don't have the answer for you, but either way is fine. And first of all, guys, I know I dug really deep into his YouTube channel. I went back like, I don't know how many years, a long time ago. And because I wanted to get an understanding of who you are. And it did not offend me at all. It didn't. And I know it came from a humorous place. It didn't come from a malicious place. So it didn't. It's fine.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to keep, and I'm a lot different from that time, also as well as now. And the things that I want to do and talk about and the way I want to progress forward into the future is much different from then. But a lot of that old stuff, it's getting views. And now with YouTube's new rules and things about having so many hours of view time a year, I guess until the new way takes off, I can leave it so it can get that, keep that quota met. But progressively, like you have your show Unlocking Lily on the Evan Carmichael channel. I actually want to progressively grow towards something in a similar type fashion, speaking and helping, opposed to making jokes. I love to make jokes along the way, but I really do believe that there's more to offer in helping someone and lending a hand and extending a hand, opposed to just making somebody laugh or, going around and collecting for yourself.
Yeah, of course. And everyone does it differently. And that's the thing, right? You have your own brand. I have my own brand. And I don't want to say brand. It sounds so weird and business-like. We human beings are made of different personalities. I have different sides to me, not I'm not, I think you saw one side to me last Wednesday, but there's also other side to me. Some of them are kind of crazy and some of them are a little bit more serious and some of them, and it's fine. And I think it's okay to show all the sides of you. I think it makes you human. And there's this one interesting thing that I was thinking about. This comes up a lot in my conversation. It could be that I'm directing it that way. Is when we look at leaders who have made huge impacts in the world, we like to view them as these saints that have never done anything wrong. And here, this is no way of me saying to make any of these people's work less. Like it's amazing what they did, but I'm making this point is because I want people to know that we're all human. We make mistakes and we're not perfect. And if you look at, there's a lot of controversial stuff coming out about Mother Teresa. From India. I'm from India. I'm from Calcutta, India, and I actually volunteered at the Mother Teresa orphanage. I was really young, so I didn't really know what was going on. But I also don't know if this is 100% true, but apparently she wasn't the nicest of people. That's the controversy that's coming out. And yeah, people will be like, oh, I can't believe that she's a saint. How's that possible? But I look at it as like, it's a good thing. We're not perfect, and it's fine. She's not a perfect woman, but she did something amazing, and it still doesn't diminish all the wonderful things that she has done. So the point of all of this is it's okay to explore different sides to you. It's all good. It's all good.
I love to be, I'm sometimes bind myself up and hide myself away, but I also like to be that open book. So everybody knows just what to expect. I want to know. So when you meet me or who I am, you know what you're going to get right out of the gate. I'm not one. I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to mislead anybody. I'm, this is just me. But deep down, I unconditionally love everybody exactly the same, no matter what. We all have a value to each other.
Do
so
you?
that is me. Yeah. Who doesn't, right? You're supposed to.
You're supposed to. You're being a good Christian. You're supposed to. I have an interesting thought about that, about loving people unconditionally. I don't know. I'm starting to think that unconditional love does not exist.
It doesn't in most cases.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to think that even in the most loving of marriages and relationships, it's kind of, you would love them until they're no longer serving you, in a sense. And it sounds terrible the way I'm saying, but if my spouse were to try to kill my father, I don't think I would be in love with him anymore, but maybe I'll still love him. I don't know. I'm somewhere in between. I don't have a full thought yet. I love the idea of unconditional love. I do love the idea of it. But I don't know if it's actually true 100%. I don't know.
It comes with that being able to give that ultimate forgiveness. Just like you said, if something like that would happen with your husband and father, to be able to have the will to be able to forgive something like that and carry forward, it would be the only possible way to incorporate an unconditional love situation. And there's so many people out there that are out there. They're ready to throw a wall in front of you, run you over with their car, or kill your father. And it's like, why? And it's why. It's because they were shown the wrong picture, the wrong upbringing. There was no one there to tell them that, hey, there's unconditional love and how we need each other to, progress and take this world further. They don't see that. So, but knowing that the people were misled or they had the bad upbringing, the parents weren't proper, that's where that forgiveness comes into play. And that, they deserve that second chance, or they deserve a chance to have someone at least give them that opportunity, and then if they don't want to go with the flow, because, deep down, I think everybody wants to feel loved. And that's why you act out or act ridiculous in the first place, because it's missing from your life. And if we all had a chance to get it back, I bet you the chance for that unconditional love might grow. Maybe.
I like it. It's a controversial topic, I think. I like to be controversial too, in a sense. I've not made up my mind yet. So we do have one person in the chat writing in. It's a very long name. We have Frozen Fury 009. I think that's how you say it. Yeah. So they dropped by to say hi. Thank you so much for supporting us. And he or she,
He's a he. I know who he is. He's
you know this.
wonderful. He's a
Okay, so
musician. He's that guy. He's really talented. That is one talented individual.
am I pronouncing his name right? Frozen
Yes,
Fury
I think so.
009. Okay, beautiful. So Frozen Fury believes that I think he is disagreeing with me. He believes that unconditional love does exist. So Frozen Fury, if you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be sure to answer them as we go along here. What are you drinking over there?
Coffee, black coffee.
Coffee.
Cool.
Coffee at 222. You got two of them.
Two of them at 222. That means something, doesn't it?
It does. It does mean something.
I know. I would say that there is something to that. You know, with all of those twos in the day is Tuesday. There's something to it. I don't know what, but you know, it's one of those. Like when you've mentioned, I know this is skipping all around all over the place, but when we were speaking, it's like over here, like trying to look back in the camera. When we were speaking out in Toronto, you were mentioning to me about, you were asking me questions like, what was your favorite movie, your favorite book? You know, we were kind of working on pulling a one word out. I don't even know where I was going with this now. Completely.
Something about twos. Something about twos.
No, I lost it. Scratch it. But you know what though? That was what was I gonna say about that? Good grief. I lost my train of thought.
It's all right. We'll come back soon. We'll come back soon. Well, it's interesting that you're mentioning that, and we were talking about your favorite movie and all of that. There is a common theme that binds everything in our lives, and it's important for us to figure out what that is. And it's important to understand why we do the things that we do. And that was a point of the exercise that I was going through with you.
That was the point actually that I was gonna to make with the twos. There's keys, there's things, and there's reasons why they all come together, and I think that's just one of them.
Yeah. Why do you like the number 2 so much?
Don't know. I don't know. It shows up all the time. You know, just as well as when you said it's 222 and I held up 2 coffees without even thinking about it. Those twos, they just keep coming in for some crazy reason, and I don't know why.
And then you also mentioned earlier that you're 2 people.
Yeah, see, isn't that strange? And again, no relation to that. It just happens to be. It just happens to be. It just simply. I don't know why. It just simply was. It's funny that you just said that. That's interesting.
It is interesting. I don't know. It's there's something there. I don't know. I don't know that.
There's messages and all that we do. Like when you were about this, that was possibly where I was going. You know, there's the movies. You know, all different types of movies that you like and watch. They usually have a certain common ground, or the books that you read. Right? There's usually a common ground, or why you would read something like that. Just like the twos, there's just certain things that all tie together, and I believe that. Like when you watch a whole bunch of movies and they all have like the same background, whether it be, you know, courage or, you know, anything along those lines, just, you know, the underlying basis of the movie. I think when you watch so many of those, it's like a key. You know, they're like a whole bunch of little keys that are going to unlock this one great big giant door. But you've got to find all of those keys and what they mean and get them to fit into the slot. You know, and I have a heck of a time figuring that out. And I really believe that there's something to all of those things. There's a reason why you wake up in the morning and you want to do what you want to do, and you want to watch the certain movie that you want to watch, or you listen to certain types of music. Those tones, you know, they calm you, or they feed a certain situation. All of these things, I think, are individual keys that will open one big giant door if you can find the door.
Mm. I like it. I like the metaphor of the door, and I like the metaphor about the key. And I think we all have to be in the mindset that we have the key to open that door. It's hard. It's hard to do. This is something that I coach a lot of people through, is how do you put into words a feeling that you get? It's a very challenging thing to do for a lot of people, because the sensations that we have doesn't really live in the part of our brain that controls language. And now I'm asking you to put it into language. So it takes a long time to actually get to that. And I think a lot of people get frustrated because you're like, there's something to it. I need to know what's going on. It's okay. Take your time. One of the things that for people who are watching this, they might be wondering what we're talking about. We're talking about your one word, which is over there behind your, what is that? Is that a electricity ball?
Yeah, it's my Tesla globe. It's my miniature model. This is my store model. I wanted to do this. I was going to run the stream from out inside my shop, but it's so cold out there that there was no way in the world that I was doing that today. Where I have my larger model, you know, I do all kinds of weird electrical experiments and stuff. There's something with this thing too, and again, that ties right back to what we were saying before. As a child, I went back through a bunch of art pictures and things that I had done through the years through schools. Like I always drew a ball with like lightning in it. It almost looked like an eyeball with a bunch of lightning for some reason. And then all these years later, you know, I made a larger machine that does this, and I love these stupid things. I don't know why.
So, sorry, say that again. So you did that, you used to do that as a child, or you drew pictures as a child?
Yeah, I used to draw pictures of a similar, you know, type of a sphere, but it was always like, you know, red and blue or red and black. It would always, but then later on in life, I ended up building something like this, you know, that threw the lightning around us. And I had never, you know, I never knew why. I was always fascinated with like this image. And I used to put it out on paper all the time. And now and then like I said, and then built the machines and ended up playing a lot with electricity and stuff. It was really strange. It was almost like it was meant to be. It was pre-programmed, you know, from a childhood. And you just don't know again until you find the key and unlock it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So can you walk us through, maybe your audience knows, but I'm new to you. I just met you last week. So can you talk about why you became so interested in experiments? Like it's almost like seems like a dangerous experiment. Like how does one even do that? How do you start with that?
You don't. I don't know why. You know, it was just one day I was sitting down doing paperwork, and I jumped up and went, "Oh my God!" And I ran out into the back shop and started building. And I built, you know, a couple of coils, and it transferred wireless energy. You know, it picked up. I was able to light a small LED lamp, you know, from about 4 feet away.
Mhm.
And when I accomplished that, it made me want to do some more, you know, like some more stuff. It made me want to, you know, build an air motor, did different stuff with my lawnmowers and other electrical projects. And I further then grew the size of the coil so I could, you know, put more energy out into the room or into the atmosphere. And I don't know, you know, why, but I was always into that. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, you know, what would be really cool would be to build a free energy machine. You know, Tesla, he
Mm,
had a way.
yeah.
He had a way to transfer energy. He claimed of, you know, free energy and spoke of, you know, we're surrounded by the scalar energy grid field and all of these things. So I decided that I wanted to get involved in that and maybe pick up where some of the old technology left off and see if I could do anything. What I realized is, you know, we have free energy all around us. You know, we're collecting it from the sun, solar panels, wind power. You have, you know, Niagara Falls and, you know, different falls and dams turning generators. So the energy is there. It's being made. It's free. It's just we charge each other for the materials, the parts. So it takes away from the free. So then with all of these experiments, it dawned on me, I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing them, you know. And then deep down, what I always wanted to do was make, you know, make videos, make music and stuff like that. So then I started to, you know, I picked up my phone. I had a phone back then. I'm not sure which one it was, but I just started trying to film stuff. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know how to edit anything, but I wanted to do something entertainment wise and put on a show. So I realized, well, maybe this electrical stuff was a good way to start a show. So then I started the show. And then from there it spiraled into what we're doing right now.
You're like, where am I going with this? Oh, makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
don't know.
I'm just I have a natural curiosity in people, so there's a reason why we have the things that we have around us. So it's just me following my curiosity. Maybe it'll lead me somewhere, maybe it won't, and that's okay.
I love, the funny thing is I love power, the energy, the electricity. When you're like when I run the big coil that I have and I mess around with that, when you sit here, like you can take in the energy will leave the would be glass, and you feel it. It flows all through you and everything. It's amazing. And literally, it's amazing. You couldn't drink enough energy drinks in the world to get that feeling, that charged, like it just feels like it charges all of your cells and everything, and you become alive. It's an amazing thing, and it's something that just I love that being around that. Just the power, the energy, the lights, the different color. That I don't know. It's just my thing.
That's interesting. So you feel a charge when you touch it? Is that what it? I know nothing about
Not
these things.
this, not this one particularly, but
Okay.
the funny thing is, if I had a and I don't have one, if I had a little fluorescent lamp, you could take a light bulb and hold it next to this, and it'll light up because there's still actual energy leaving this and coming out into the atmosphere, so it'll light gases and stuff nearby. The one that I have, it'll literally just picture the glass gone. And
Okay.
all of that energy just coming right into you, and it jumps right to you, and it tries to travel its path to ground, like through you, uses you as a raceway. And as it does that, I don't know, you just charge up. You literally charge up. It's really interesting. And sometimes it can get hot if you hold it, like if you were holding one spot for too long, your fingertip will get hot, but you won't feel it anywhere else in your body. But then when you walk away, you just feel alive. So it's a really interesting experience, is all I can say.
It sounds like it. It does. It does. Yeah. Huh. I've never looked at electricity that way. In a sense, I take electricity for granted. It's not something that I even pay attention to, but now it's like I look at it differently now, thanks to you.
You mentioned, the way that you mentioned it, though, it's like it's bringing that invisible danger to life. Now it's visual. You can see it, and it's brought out into the world because now it's running through your walls and all around us, and it's never there, but it'll kill you, if you mess with it wrong. So there's just something about bringing it to life and bringing the colors out and getting to see that energy that you normally never would get to see. That's really special about that.
Mm.
And I love fire and stuff too. Those things that blow up in front of your face and the flashes. It feels good.
Okay. Yeah, it's a different way. I like it. I like it. I'm always looking for new experiences, so it's interesting. Because I think about my dance background and the things that I have done. It's like a slow progression. So it's not people see me, well, I'm retired now, so I don't really dance much anymore, but people see me. Yeah, I know, I'm so old. I'm retired. I'm a retired dancer, but people see us doing tricks. We do crazy tricks. We do like lifts and like we flip each other around and all of that. And a lot of people are like, how do you even start there? How do you experiment? How do you not fall on your head? Well, it's little baby steps. You start by taking your first dance class, and you do something else, and then you keep building onto it, and then you do these crazy flips. So that's why I was asking him, like, how do you even go about starting with the experiments? Because it seems a little dangerous. Yeah.
It is. It's just like it just happens, right? It's just something you end up doing. Like people, like I get skateboard. I don't skateboard, right? It's just here, but people jump on those things and start like going up and doing weird tricks, and you think you'd fall on your face, but they're just like they're driven to do it, right? There's that different place, that different field for each one of us. There's like it's like the world's full of all of these holes, and each one of us has our own to stand in and fill up in order to complete the big circle.
Mm. Like it. It's different. It's different. I like it. I like it. Makes me think. I'm processing. That's why I look like that. Yeah, I'm processing. Now, where are you getting inspiration for your videos? They're all quite different.
They just happen. It's one of those things. Again, it just happens. Like just like the electrical experiments, something just happens. I make music, like I'll make a song. I'll sit down and I'll start working on a program to make a song, and the next thing you know, it's done. And after listening to it, I can see, picture like what I want there. I see a video going to it. The comedy stuff, though, I could be walking through a store and just something like clicks. And with things like Evan Carmichael would say, you do it. You jump on it right now in order to make it happen. So I'll start filming something, or I'll write a bunch of stuff down, and then later on put it together. But those ideas, they just pop up. I never pre-plan anything. I just don't plan for anything. And that's might be the wrong way to do things or look at things, but sometimes those spontaneous things are the more magical stuff. And I don't like to waste time sitting around going, should I do this, or trying to write down a bunch of questions. I love if there's something I wanted to ask you, if I'm feeling it inside and it's burning in there and wants to come out, it's a question worth asking. If you're pre-planning a whole bunch of stuff, sometimes I don't think you always really get what you're looking for. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just the way I look at it.
It's both. I think if you're just planning and doing nothing, it's not great either. That's where a lot of people are at. They're looking for a perfect plan and they don't start, so that's not good. It all depends on what you feel. If you feel like you should start planning, then start planning. If you feel like it's working, and just continue to do what you're doing. I like to live somewhere in the middle all the time. I live in the spectrum. I always say that I live somewhere in between two different things. I occupy the slash all the time. So I'm always trying to harness both worlds.
Could I ask, would it be okay to ask, how did you do it when you did you did a TED Talk in Michigan, right?
Yes.
How did you do that? I mean, like, how did you put that plan together and go up there and speak? And I watched the video, so I seen what happened. How did you like pre-plan everything? I mean, how did you get up there and you pulled that off? You weren't reading cards or doing anything.
Very, very planned, extremely planned. It was hundreds and hundreds of hours worth of planning. It's a lot. I memorized my entire speech. Now, in retrospect, looking back, it doesn't really seem like me. I think I could do a lot better. I could do a lot better if I were to go back. So with the talk that you're talking about, it's just to give you guys an overview of what they look for. You apply for it. So you put in a description and you apply for it. Then they call you for an interview. Then they ask you for more information. They ask you for another page, and then they ask you for rehearsal. So everything is very, very planned and very rehearsed. So what you're seeing is hundreds of hours of rehearsal. Is that the right way to go? Not really, because there's such thing as over rehearsing, and a lot of the emotions doesn't come out if you're over rehearsing. So that's, to answer your question, that's what I did. And but also there's a beauty in over rehearsing something too. If you're too focused on trying to remember everything that you want to say, the emotions doesn't come out either. But if you have done it 1,000 times before, then you could really connect with the emotion. And I think that's what was memorable about my talk for people. I still think I could have done a lot better than I did. It's kind of embarrassing for me to look at it now. It was a long time ago. It was back in September. A lot of things have changed. Yeah.
And you grow every day, right? So
yeah, exactly. It was fun. It was my first time in Michigan. And I realized that Michigan people are very nice. Nicer than Canadians.
I missed him. I didn't see him. I missed that guy. If you met him, I missed him.
Really? They are so nice. And then I went back again because after the talk I did, I was invited to come back to an event, a private event, to speak again. And I came back, I'm like, wow, these people are so nice. Canadians are so mean compared to you guys. And apparently we sound like Northern Michigan. I guess our accents, Canadian accent, sounds like we're from Northern Michigan. I don't know if that's true.
Huh. I have no speculation on that whatsoever.
Interesting.
You know, I felt the same way when I was in Canada, though. I was treated really well there, all except for the parking ticket I got. I thought I had diplomatic immunity, and I didn't.
Where did you get the parking ticket? Did you get parking?
Right out in front. Right out in front.
You know, you
And
could have validated your parking.
you know, the worst part was I didn't see parking, you know, the parking boxes or anything anywhere. And later on, because I had filmed some stuff when I was going around. Later on, I was standing in a different video clip earlier in the day. I was standing right in front of the thing, going, "There's no parking meters here anywhere." I was right in front of the thing, and I never saw it.
Jeez. Well, if you ever come back again, we do have a parking lot that you could validate your parking, so you won't get charged. Next time, that's the least we can do for you driving all the way. Ask us next time, you'll be fine. Oh my gosh. Hopefully it wasn't a huge parking ticket.
It was like $30, you know, and I'm hoping, you know, and I don't say this to be mean or anything, but I'm hoping that's in Canadian money, because it'll be a little bit less for me.
It's a Canadian insult. Oh, terrible.
I'm just kidding. I don't. It's $30. You know what? It was so worth it. It wouldn't have mattered. I had a lot of fun coming out there. You know, it was a really good time. Everything was. I enjoyed the entire experience from beginning to end, and it was a real pleasure to get to stand there, talk with you, and see how Evan films. My favorite part was Timo. You know, I love animals. I'm just kidding, but I love Timo. Was great.
I knew people came to see Timo.
Mm-hmm.
Knew it. He's always taking the spotlight from us. You know, it's just he's too cute. That's what happens.
He is. He steals the show every time he's in the room.
I know. You know what's so interesting that you're mentioning that pets and kids. Do you have kids? I know that's really personal. You do have kids, okay? When they were really little, I don't know if they're still little now. When they were really little, anytime there's a little kid in the room, or a pet in the room, or like a little animal, cute little animal in the room, they always steal the show.
Every time.
And I think I know what it is. Well, with the exception that they're really friggin' cute. I think it's they're very authentic. I think there's something about people's authenticity that people are really drawn to, and kids are so authentic. They feel everything to the max. They're changing their emotion from one to the other constantly, and it makes them so interesting to watch. And they're so magnetic, and they will always steal the show. And I think that's the reason why.
That's where the true unconditional love lives and breathes, is in those children, because they don't know anything else yet. You know, they're growing up. They love everybody. You're right. I mean, if somebody got in trouble and you had to spank them, they love you still nonetheless. You know, and they've learned a lesson from it and things like that. They hold that unconditional love, and when they want something, there's no fear in asking for it. You know, so they're trying to make their world. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if we could really go back and just think on that level instead of growing into not all of us do it, but a lot of us do. We grow into selfish, greedy people, and we lose that unconditional love in everything that comes from being a child.
Yeah. And a lot of it is it's me trying to bring it back. I'm trying to bring it back for people. I use children as an example a lot in explaining things to people. I think something happens along the way for us. I don't know, maybe it's our upbringing, maybe it's our social conditioning. Something happens that we lose that side to us. And I think it's important to bring it back. And I relive it every time. I don't have children myself. My best friend has 2 little boys, and they are the sweetest. They're completely different. One is 4 and the other one is 1.5. And they're totally different from each other, but it's just the presence that they have is incredible. And it teaches me to be present. And my best friend says that, she's like, "You're really good with kids. You're better with my kids than I am." I was like, because I'm like them. I like to be present. I like to be present for people. I love learning. And I'm trying to kind of make myself into a child all over again. And it's something I try to walk my clients through as much as possible, to really connect with who you are versus trying to be who you should be. So I love kids. I think they're amazing. I don't
It's
have my own, but I love other people's kids.
they you know you smile with that with the child heart and attitude inside of you. You would go on. I mean, through the tough struggles of the day, you would walk over them a lot easier. You know, you'd probably stay younger longer because you would be living there at heart. And when you wanted something, or you were reaching out in a business, or you started a new company, or let's just say you started a new company and you wanted to sell mushrooms to a restaurant, you like a if you had the heart and the will of the child, you're going to take your batch of mushrooms and you're going to go right down there and go buy these, buy these, buy these, buy these. Eventually, somebody's going to buy them from you. The the salesman, children have all of that, and we somehow let it slip away, and then we find ourselves looking and begging for ways back into how do I make my business grow and stuff. And really, if we just take a look back, the answers are really right there.
Yeah,
Some of them are.
I know. I love, yeah. I think we all need to reconnect and kind of let go of a lot of stuff that a lot of baggage that came from our upbringing. It's a lot of work that I'm doing myself. I'm doing a lot of research around it. I think that's why it's salient in my mind, about kind of connecting with your inner truth. And a lot of it shows up in kids. And that's the reason why I keep bringing it up. And there's like parenting and everything that goes along the way.
Was there a day, Lily, that that you're just like, I'm done with everything else. I want to speak. I want to help people. Can you describe that moment, or what you were feeling, or how that came about?
It's a collection of moments that happened. I think for me, and what I have seen with the clients that I work with, it's never an overnight thing. It's a collection of moments, and then something happens to it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's always that. For me, actually, it wasn't a straw. It was a death of a friend that was really close to me. And when people die, it's kind of, you think about their lives. You're like, oh, how's their life? Oh, they had a great life. Recently I lost my uncle. And when I looked back at his life, I was like, you know what? He had a pretty great life. He lived his life to the fullest. He enjoyed his life. He traveled. He enjoyed everything to the max, maybe a little too much. That got him in trouble, but he enjoyed his life. And so this friend that I'm talking about, he didn't. He did not enjoy his life. And he lived till 86, which was a long time. And me looking at their life kind of made me realize that I was doing the same. I was basically dying a slow death, which I called life. And that's when I said to myself, no more. I am not going to do this anymore. And I started, it was a long transition. It wasn't like what you see in the TED Talk that I did. People thought that was like, oh, I just quit my job and I started my own business and I replaced all of these terrible people with good people. And then I did this. It was years in the making, years of kind of letting go of all of that junk in my life, replacing it with other things, a lot of looking inward, looking inside myself and experiencing seeing things I didn't like about myself. And it still lives in there. Oh, it lives in there. She's still there. Right. And it's okay. It's okay. It's good to kind of see every part of you. And so I would say it was years, 2-3 years before I actually made the full transition into who I am. I mean, I'm still transitioning into making my own business. And even then I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Even when I started my business, I wasn't sure if I was going to do speaking, if I was going to do coaching. I didn't know. I saw myself. Okay, this is funny too. When I was a kid, I wanted to become a nun. I was very religious as a child, and sounds kind of funny because people who know me really well know I would never be a nun, judging by the way I look at things sometimes. But the main reason why I wanted to be a nun is because I looked up to them. I grew up in India. I loved all the nuns and the Mother Teresa orphanage, and I found they were such beacons of hope, and they were missionaries. They were spreading their message, and that's what I wanted when I was a child. Not necessarily living the life of celibacy and all of that, and wearing the same clothes every day. That's not what I wanted. Even though I wear the same clothes every day now. And there was a calling. I had a calling in knowing that I wanted to share my message. And I thought the path was through being a speaker. And recently I shifted gears. I'm leaning more towards continuing my coaching program and not as much on the speaking side. So that was a very long-winded answer. So to answer your question, I think we're a collection of moments, and then one day we just make the decision that we're not going to live like this anymore. We're going to make a change. My only hope for everybody is do it sooner rather than later. Yeah. Just do it as soon as possible.
I can't help but agree with that 1,000+%. There's nothing worse than waking up every single day, driving into the same traffic jam, going to the same place that you complain about to your friends and your family. You need to, when you're doing that, right, that's the first sign, that's the trigger that you got to get on a different road. You know, I mean, no matter what, you have bills and you have problems as they are because you're complaining about them. Get on that other road. They're already there. You might as well try something different and start working towards something better, something that's going to put a smile on your face. It's your life. I had somebody tell me, you have a dash, right? You have your birth date and you have your death date, and you have that dash in between that you get to live, and that's what makes up your life. And you don't know how long it's going to be. You know, you have to make the best of it, and you need to take it. It's yours. You know, today is yours. You need to live in it. Otherwise, you're going to let it go to fear and anger and grief and everything else. Why would you? It's your life. It's your time. Why would you give it away to that? It's time to change that road as quickly as possible. That's why I agree.
Yeah, I think so too. And yes, of course, I mean, for some people it's overnight, it happens. And for others it's a transition, but start the transition as soon as possible. None of us are getting any younger. All of us are getting older. I can't believe sometimes how old I am. I was like, I can't believe I'm 33. It's crazy. I feel like I'm 16, but I'm 33 years old. So I'm getting up there. So try to make that switch as soon as possible. I think so.
It can be a long road if you don't, you know, it's just, and it only gets harder as you get older. You know, you get set in your ways and you've learned so many things and they become harder to change. You know, and more fear can be installed at that too, because you've grown so adapt to a certain situation that it makes it so hard to leave, even though you need to so bad.
Yeah, I know. It's true. True. It's kind of deep. Going on. We started off with having some fun, and then now it's getting a little deep.
It's all fun.
It's still fun. It's still fun. There are some people in the chat. Next time we do this, you got to get better with the chat box, I think.
I will. I'll have to figure out how to pull up the chat box. Yeah, I have just a big screen. That's a good idea.
Well, you can go to the chat box. You just have to put yourself on mute so you're not echoing yourself.
Yeah, I should have just pulled up my phone.
We have, well, you know, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you.
Thank you.
Manuel is saying hello, and Manuel is also wondering, how are you doing? How are you?
Wonderful. You know what? I'm sitting right here on a Tuesday afternoon speaking with Lily from Canada. It's wonderful. I couldn't actually ask to do anything.
Canada.
Yeah. You know what?
So far away.
It's like yeah, there's a bridge, and then there's a couple of guys that want to search your car when you're going back and forth. It's so far. But no, you know what? I couldn't think of anything better to be doing right now. And that's the honest to God's truth. I'm having a lot of fun. This was a pleasure to get to do. I had a lot of fun speaking with you in Toronto, and I love the extension.
Nice. Beautiful.
So thanks, Manuel. I appreciate the question. So I'm doing wonderful, and I hope you are as well today.
Okay. All right. Well, we're clocking close to the 3 o'clock mark.
Yeah. It is. It's getting close. I'm glad that you were here. I don't want to keep you on any longer, but I'm glad that anybody that was here and showed up. I don't know how many viewers we had or stopped by or here.
We had Frozen Fury 001 stop by, and Manuel as well. And I think there was a couple other people watching. They were just being shy. They did not want to comment on anything. Maybe because they're just not used to you going live.
No, I don't do this very often. This was a kind of a new thing. I even attempted to set up like a reminder the other night. I don't know if it was successful.
I don't know. So, well, you know, it's all a learning experience. You're going to
It
get
is.
better as time goes on.
I do, I make videos and I edit them. I don't really do live. It's tough to, I've done a couple of things where I've sat down and made a couple of songs live just to kind of prove to YouTube. I've put up, this is a great thing if you don't mind for one quick second, but I'll make a song and I'll put it up on YouTube and I get hit with a copyright on it, and it's like, I literally made it myself right here. How in the world did I get hit with a copyright on it? Everybody thinks they own little like whistles and the same tones and things like that. It's really irritating. So I've done a couple of live streams showing the process and building the song and then uploading the song, as well as getting hit with a copyright on it right after I got done doing that entire process. So it just kills me. I don't know anymore.
I don't know. I don't know either. I'm so neat. I mean, I work with a huge YouTube channel, so I do know a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I have a small YouTube channel. I like to have fun on it. I think I recently started putting some content, and I do a lot of lives there. And my audience is funny. It's funny. My audience expects live events from me, not so many edited videos. So it's an interesting thing that we're kind of opposites in that way.
You have a very good channel. I've watched some of your live streams and stuff.
Oh
They're very good. And actually, after this is done, because I didn't have a chance to do it beforehand, I'm going to leave the stream up afterwards, but I'll go back into it and I'll put a link to your channel down in the description box so that anybody in the future can, they can make sure that they follow and subscribe.
Thank you. Some of it's a hot mess, because I'm very spontaneous. Only recently I started just today. Today I thought that maybe it'll be a great idea to do something daily, but all of them are very sporadic. It's all over the place. I have a break in between my coaching sessions. I jump on. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I just go on, go live, have some fun. But I think I'm going to make it a little bit more focused than it has been. So it's like, you know how you're feeling when I said, oh, I'm going to check out your YouTube channel. You're like, there's some stuff in there that you might, it might be a little. So that's how I feel about my YouTube channel. I'm like, some of the stuff is kind of crazy and sporadic. So I'm trying to refocus everything, because I can be all over the place too.
I think everybody would enjoy it though if they clicked over and didn't skip through. They're going to find some interesting stuff.
Skip through? That's terrible. Why would you say that? Skip through? That's awful. It's all gold. Every single word.
It's every bit of it. I always say that. I'm always a skip through. I don't want you to miss one. I don't want you just to watch one. That's why I say skip. It's like don't just start with one. Make sure you get all of them, and then you'll find all the good stuff in there. You're right. It is all gold, isn't it?
No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm not egotistical that way. Not everything I say is gold. Okay. There's a lot of crap in there too, but hopefully it's all a growth journey, right? It's to document who I am as well. Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So, well, thanks for being on today. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I know you're busy and I'm not going to keep you tied up here any longer.
That's fine. No, this is just very different for me because we're live the entire time.
It was, yeah. No, there was no pre-planning anything.
No green room, nothing. Just like boom, and no debriefing, nothing like that. It's different.
No, if you're interested in doing this again, I would love to to speak with you a little bit beforehand, and we could do whatever. This was kind of new. I went live. It was new, so
Oh my gosh, this has happened before. You're not the first person. I've done this before with someone else. I'm like, oh my God, we're live. What the heck is going on?
I'm so used to giving the real. I just give you the real thing, whether it's messed up, whether it's perfect. Yeah. It's the truth.
Yeah,
it's always the truth.
It's fun. It's fun. All right, maybe we'll chat a little bit later after we go off.
Yeah, no, I would love to. So everybody that's watching, this is going to be. Everybody that's not watching, I'm directing this particular message to the people who haven't come yet. This is going to be your future. You're going to be watching us right now. We're in our present. You're going to be watching us in your future, which will be your present, but it'll be our past. So I hope you enjoy it when you do it. And thank you all for coming. Lily, especially thank you for being here.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye.